This is another tale of Kievan Rus or of old Russia. You decide. It's another tale of a smerd, a peasant who runs afoul of his household spirit and protector, his Domovik, as they would say in Ukraine, or his Domovoi, as they would say in Mother Russia. And it echoes a story I told last year, The Ungrateful Peasant. Once, there were two peasants, two smerdi, who were neighbors. One of them always seemed more prosperous, somehow blessed with better luck. His hut, was finer, while the other seemed more, well, shabby. He also had several fine, sleek horses, all of which were white, while those of the other were thin and sickly. The fortunate peasant thought someone must be feeding his horses at night, so he decided to hide in the yard and keep watch. From his hiding place, he saw a little old man. He was all hairy, with a dark complexion, who went up to the horses. And the stranger talked quietly to his white horses, and he stroked and he groomed them. Then he harnessed one horse to the cart and went to fetch water, gave all the horses a drink, then disappeared, seemingly into thin air. The peasant disliked the notion of drinking water that had been touched by an unclean spirit, for that is what he suspected the old man was, that he was his house's Domovik, what the Russians would have called a Domovoi, a spirit who watched over the house. So the fortunate smerd foolishly asked his neighbor what he should do. The neighbor was only too glad to do him a bad turn, for he envied his neighbor's good fortune, and he envied the white horses. "Why don't you drill a hole in the bucket?" he suggested. "During the day you can bung it up, and at night you can remove the bung." The fortunate smerd went ahead with this plan, thinking this was a good idea. The next night, the Domovik tried to fill the bucket, a task he found impossible, as the water poured straight out through the hole like the mighty Dnipro River. In his fury, the Domovik began to smash the furniture in the house. He smashed the stable to pieces, then turned his fury upon the horses he usually fed so thoughtfully, kicking them. Finally, in his wrath, such wrath as only a spirit could have, he killed all the cattle and horses, frightening the other household spirits who dwelt in the yard and in the barn. Somehow, the peasant slept through all the destruction, all the noise. And when he awoke in the morning, and one wonders how he managed to sleep through this, he saw how his furniture was destroyed, his stable was destroyed, his cattle and horses lay dead in the yard. Through his own foolishness and the spite of his neighbor, he had lost the goodwill of his Domovik. It was at the feast I heard this tale, there it was I drank mead ale. Though it flowed down my beard, my mouth stayed dry, for never a drop passed my lips, swear I.